So on today's video we will work with random number generators and how to use them to generate a random position for the spheres and capsules. So let's start with the homework solution. Let's start by creating a capsule. Reset the position. Now let's create a material. Drag it there and change the color to orange. Now let's create a prefab of the capsule. Go to Assets, Prefabs, and again just drag it down. And the prefab is created. Now we need to go back to our script. Let's create a new variable. This will store the prefab that we created. Let's create a new enumerator. But here we want to span capsule prefab, and let's change the position to maybe 4 here so they don't span in the same place. Now we need to rename this, so here write sphere rain delay. Change it up here, and here you can call it capsule rain delay. Let's also create a new float up here. Capsule spawn delay, and change the one on top to sphere. And fix it down here. And now this one goes here. Now we just need to call this coroutine. Just copy this one and pass it here. Now if you save it and go back to Unity, go to Rain Manager, drag the capsule there, or you can just drag it from the prefabs. You can delete it from the scene now, and if you press play, it should work. Again, I forgot to add the rigid body to the collider. Now go to Rain Manager and also add a delay. Let's say it was 5, I believe, for the homework. Now if you press play, you can see it's worked as intended. Every 5 seconds it spans a capsule. Now let's add some code to the script so the spheres and capsules don't span in the same position. Now go back to your script. And let's create some new variables. Public int span range x and public int span range y. I mean z, sorry. Now go down here and write void on draw Gizmos selected Gizmos dot color equal color dot yellow. Gizmos draw wire cube transform dot position new vector tree span range x 1 and span range z. So what this function does, it will draw on the scene a cube so we can see what's the range. So if you go back to the scene, so like range manager, let's say range of 10 and 10, you can see that it gets drawn on the scene. So we can see how big is the range that we choose. So let's say something bigger like 40, 40. Let's go back to the script. And now let's generate the random numbers. Now in here, go to the sphere range delay, write float x position equals random dot range minus span range x divided by 2, range x divided by 2. The reason why we divide by 2 is because if the range is like, let's say 40, the center is 20, right? So we want 20 below and 20 above. So we need to divide it by 2. If you now change the 0 here to x position and save the script, so if you now press play, you can see that the position is random on the x-axis, I mean. Now let's do the same for the others. Go back to the script. You can just copy this. Here, write z, and copy this here. Now if you go to Unity again, let it load, and try that again, you can see that they span across our range. Now let's do the same for the capsule. Just copy this, paste it here, copy this, save, go back to the Unity. If you now play, you can see that everything is working fine. And that's how you generate random numbers, and you can select a position. If you now go to the, where is it? Range manager, and let's say 15, you can see it gets updated. And now it just spans inside this rectangle. That's why this function is so cool. It lets you see the dimensions and all that. It's really useful. So let me explain the code again. First we get a random number for the x position, where the minimum number value is the span range divided by 2, negative, and the maximum is the span range divided by 2. Then we instantiate the object on that position, and every time it spans one, it's generated again a random position. Now for the homework, I want these values, the span range, to also be random between two values. So here it should appear span range x minimum and maximum. You choose them and then it's selected randomly when the game starts. I'm going to give you a tip. You need to create more two variables and use the random range function. On the next video, we'll work with colliders. So when a sphere collides with other player, he gets killed. And the capsules, if you collide with them, you get extra points. They're like coins, if you want. Right now we just collide with them and nothing happens. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below, I will try to help you, and see you on the next video.